pressure, he's framing away hard. If I try and move a stiff frame, it's not going to move, right? I need to take weight off it temporarily to then move it. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to feed him this pressure. As he's pushing back on me, I'm going to take the pressure off for a minute, and I slap his hand, and I punch my underhook like this, right? Now I've got this tricep grip, I can really start to pull myself in. We've got a couple of different options. First one we'll do is I'm just going to take a cross face, but I want to flatten him out. So watch my hands, this is really important, right? My hands palm down to the mat, and I'm going low on the back. Right? Now I can take this out, and I connect my hands just like this, right? If you want to be a bit nastier, I'm really starting to cross facing, so he looks me away, and I'm stapling his hips. Now when I pass, I don't just circle to come to my knees, because his bottom knee's just going to come in, and a bit sloppy, and my hip wants to stay connected. Right? So there's a few details. So as I step in, like this, if I've already beat it, that's great. Knee shields in, I roll, and I win this position. He's going to be framing on me, right? This is the last line of defense for him. I'm giving him weight, then I take the pressure off as I slap my underhook. Now I use this tricep grip to pull myself tight. I look to cross face and my hands are low on his back. Once I connect my hands, I want to start to force him to look the other way. And then as I slice through, my hip stays connected to his hip. The last thing to do is just bring the other way and then back tight, cycle draw position. Yeah? So again, I want you to be hand fighting, stepping in. If you beat it, that's great. If the knee shield's in, I roll, win this position. Hands on the rib cage, my elbows flaring out. I give the frame weight, then I take it away and slap my underhook. I then use it to pull myself in, cross face, let my hands under his lower back. From there, I roll my chest on him, hip stays connected to his hip, and run his leg through. Just one more time. I'm here, win this inside position. Yeah, 1, 2. Right, this is obviously great, like from Jason Wright, you know who he is. Like we can do this even without the knee shield. We start playing with this sort of thing. But again, guys that are a bit more disciplined with this top arm and this knee shield, it's gonna be hard to win this space. And yeah, see, I'm not gonna do it. So that's where the bottom side underhook really comes into effect. I've been playing with this a lot recently. So we're gonna go from a post again, and we're gonna talk about what if he doesn't post at all in a minute. So we've got you covered. But again, if he's got good frames here, both posting on my knee, or maybe he's posting 2 on the shoulder, something like this, we're going to look at the bottom side now. So we beat the top knee and we beat the top arm. Now we're going to beat the bottom knee and the bottom arm. We're going to do it in a slightly different way. So as he's posting on me, maybe one on the knee, one on the shoulder, it doesn't really matter. And we'll look to win this bottom side underhook. But instead of taking like an underhook like I would, like grabbing here or close, I'm looking to flare my elbow out, right? And then from there, you see my right knee's in at the minute. I'm going to bring my left knee in, so it beats his bottom knee, and then he can keep this knee shield. I'm going to step my right foot up as I drop my hip like this. Right? So you see how I'm still on the knee shield a bit, but my elbow's flared and I've got this bottom side underhook. From there, we're just going to do our traditional walk around pass, because it's one of the best passes in jiu-jitsu in my opinion. And then we're going to look at if he puts a butterfly hook in and all these different things. Right? So we're going to start in this position. He's got a knee shield, he's got good frames. We'll work our way into this position. Again, if he's grabbing my wrist, you circle out. I can pin his and use that to get my underhook. But really, if he's posting and you're putting good pressure on him, I'm going to just punch my hand to the mat and then to flare my elbow. Right? And you see how low I am. From there, my left knee is going to come in, beat his knee, and I'm going to drive as I step my right foot up and drop my chest like this. Alright, and then from here we're in a good chest-to-chest half-guard position. Right? We didn't really have to beat the knee shield like we would traditionally. First pass we'll do is keep this bottom side underhook, and all I'm going to do is just walk my hips around, push down on his knee, and free my knee into 3/4 mount. Right? So you've probably all done this pass before, but this is just a different way of setting it up. So again, we get to this position, we step in, he's got good frames and knee shield. If he's grabbing my wrist or he's posting, doesn't matter, I can repin his. If he's posting, I go underneath and I look to flare my elbow. See how low my head and my chest is. Then I bring my left knee above his knee. As I put my knee down, I step my other one up like this, right? And you see how I've fallen into this chest-to-chest position. Now what I can look to do is just flatten him out as I keep flaring my elbow. Push down, staple, and we're in the 3/4 mount, yeah? So again, cross grip, squares up, step in, good framing. I'm going to win this position. I'm basically swapping my knees, right? So my right knee's up at the minute and my left foot's up. I'm going to switch. So my left knee comes in and my right foot goes up. Now I've got my underhook. I walk around, staple, and look to pass. Yeah, makes sense? 1, 2. Side, and I look to switch my legs. I flatten them out, chest to chest. I go to walk around pass and he puts this top profile hook in. This is a very common problem to have here, right? And if I do nothing about this, and I'm sort of just where I am lifting up to lift me, my balance, regain his guard, or if my weight is sort of too far over this way, against my legs this way, a few different problems, right? So, once I'm here, I get this bottom underhook, I look to crash my weight in like this, he puts his butterfly hook in. Now I want my hand that's free, not the underhook, to be across his hip like this, and I'm flaring my elbow out. So I'm making a bar across his knee, right? And what I'm essentially doing is stopping him, bringing his knees to his chest, right? Which is what you need for most butterfly sweeps. Once I'm here, he can follow me to stop following me with the hook. He follows me with the hook, and all I do is keep following me, not active, as I step over the top, right? And now from there, I just do a hamstring curl, and I'm out. All right, really simple, but really effective. So I'm here, and then when this bottom side underhook, switch my legs, and I flatten him out. He puts his butterfly hook in. See how my hand's already on his hip, and I'm flaring this elbow. Yeah, so now he follows me with the hook what he wants, I step. If I don't have this bar across his like hip and his knee, and I try to step over, he just follows me the whole way, right? It's really difficult. So I make this bar across his hip, and I can mount. Yeah. He had Owen Livesey down last year. He always says like it's quite good for mount actually. You know, doing that. If somebody posts on you, that's just an underhook for you, right? And the opposite is if their elbows are in, so you can't underhook. That's always a wrist pin, right? So if his elbows are tucked in, it means his wrists are up, and I can pin his wrists. If his elbows are flared out, that means he's posting and I can underhook, right? So I should be able to get one or the other every time. And it's the same with my guard passing. So once I'm here, this time he's doing a good job. His elbows are pinched in, right? So he's got a little T-Rex arms. I'm going to look to now just take a wrist pin on the bottom arm. I'm going to go through the same technique. Very important when I pin the wrist, I'm quite particular which way my fingers point. If I pin it like this, see the direction of the grip is open towards my body. So when he strips and pulls down hard, yeah, his arms would be in the inside position. If he does manage to pull up towards his head and strip, that's just an underhook for me, right? So the way I grip this, for him to break, he's gonna have to take his arms away from his body, which is what I want anyway, right? So just have that in mind when you're doing it. So once we're in this position, he's tucked in, like the T-Rex arms, he's not posting, he's just staying tight. So I'm gonna look to take a pin in the top wrist, doesn't really work too hard. Like it's very rare, unless you're just massive compared to someone, that you're gonna be able to just pin their arm like all the way across here, right? It's pretty unrealistic. It works really well for the bottom wrist though, because it's next to the floor. So I'm gonna take fingers up towards your opponent's head. I'm gonna pin the wrist like this. Now what I look to do is the same movement as I sort of bring my knee to my other knee and I flare out like this. But you see how I'm not chest to chest now, I'm sort of more in the long range. And now I can start to walk around and pass like this, but this is a lot more space, so he's definitely going to circle in and look to get his butterfly. Yeah, you see how he tried to shrimp out to get his knee back? I just got to make sure I follow and keep my hip on his hip. Now we just do the same pass. I flare my knee, open up, and we get this long range half butterfly pass. So, again, we'll move on. It's pretty much the same as the last one. As I'm here, he's keeping it in now. So bear in mind, when you guard passing, if you didn't think about this already, think about it after today. Posting is underhooks. Arms in is wrist pins. So I wrist pin, I bring my knee to my other knee, I step up, and I put my hip on like this. Again, I sort of bait this so he brings this in, hand on the hip, bar across to the thigh, high leg, and mount. Yeah. It's like a lamp post when I put my leg over the top. Right. But as I'm here, and he's not, I mean, I want to see it on the things like this. Anyway, normal. So once I'm here, if I try to high leg and he starts blocking it with this hand, yeah, this free hand like this. Now, what I'm going to look to do is pummel my leg inside, and now I can just go back to my walk around pass, right? And that's where the direction of my pin is really important, because I'm going to trade off to an underhook opposed to a crossface. The reason being, as I get to this, he has this and he's blocking, doing a good job. If I switch to a crossface now, I feel like he can push on my hip and start to move me away and enter into my legs on this side. Yeah. If I have an underhook, he can't reach my hip with his hand as well. once I'm here and I pin, I switch and I get to this position. He's doing a good job of blocking like this, and he has his butterfly hook. So now I drop low and I get to my underhook. Right? I should always win this because, again, the direction of my grip. As I'm here, I drop low, get my underhook. Now he goes to post on my hip or anything. It's quite difficult because I'm throwing my elbow. Again, I try and do this, the first one we did, where I try and hop over, just stay active with your arms and legs. Like this, I can't really get it. So I pummel inside, go low, and I hit a walk around pass. Yeah, so that's the relationship between these two passes that we're doing. So try this one. So we're here, I pin the wrist, I go to do the technique we just did, but again, he butterflies and he starts posting on my leg. So I can't high leg over the top. Instead of like pummeling here straight away, I'm gonna lower my weight as I get my underhook. Now I come back up and I start to try again as he's posting, circle my leg inside, go back to my walk around pass. Yeah, what you feel is this sort of movement. As I'm here, I'm trying to go over, pummel, and I'm back to here, where I can stay put. Yeah. So essentially, when I drop my weight into this, I want my chest to actually be quite high, like this. One, it's going to be easier for my leg to come over the top when it eventually does. And two, it's going to be harder for me to frame on me. Like if we had a competition of, well, this guy would probably beat me either way, but if we had a competition of puts our hands on hands, me lifting up, him pushing down, he's going to win every time, right? His elbows are like out like this. And this is the same principle when he's framing on me. So when I'm here, if my weight's low, right, he's going to push down into my body, frame me away, and he can move me. If my weight's quite high and he tries to frame me off, so he's having to push up and I'm bearing weight down on him. And it's actually easier for me to high leg now. Whereas if my weight's low here, and I go to high leg, I've got to bring my knee like over my own head, right? Which is, I can't even do that. So my weight has to be quite high, and then it's easier, right? I think a few people will struggle with that, so hopefully that clears that up. Last one we'll do is go into this like tripod posture and pass from there. There's a whole other system on this as well, but it's good, ties in really nicely what we're doing. So once we're here, we get this wrist pin, again we step in. Now I'm going to trade off, maybe he's got his own underhook or something like that, this is very common as well. I trade off now, I drop my weight low, I get my underhook, and then I start to come back high. As I come back high this time, instead of just staying here and playing with this, I'm going to look to crash my head to the far side and raise my hips up. Right? Again, if he tries to bring this hook in now, it should be very difficult for him. And yeah, he can have this butterfly, that's fine. Two options from here, I either smash over the top again, mount, or if he's very good at bringing his knees to his chest, I just knee cut the same side as my underhook across his body, and then run his legs away, just like we did at the start. Yeah? So last one, we're here, I get my wrist pin. This is by far my most successful entry into this system, that is the wrist pin. Because again, against good guys, like getting an underhook and crashing in, it's very difficult. They're going to be cutting their elbow back in and it's going to be a fight. But wrist pins are so powerful. When I go here, I can now trade it off. He can put the butterfly hook in, and now I crash my head to the far side. It wants to be the crown of my head, right? If I'm up on my forehead like this, his bottom hook can probably come in because my hips aren't far away. Yeah, and then you get stuffed with this. So I want to be really high here, right? And again, if he tries to off balance me, it should be very stable. And I just ride it. Again, you can put, if you push me away like that again, sometimes I can just like ride over the top of his hooks. Yeah. But again, if he's really good at bringing his knees to his chest, I'm just here, I'm trying to step over, I can't. I bring the same side knee as my underhook across. Knee cut, circle back. Yeah. One more time. Again, step, wrist pin, switch my legs, he puts the butterfly in. I drop my weight down to get my underhook. I come back up and crash my head against this tripod structure. Again, have a good relationship with your partner, like get him to move you around a little bit. You should feel pretty stable. Either step across or cut your knee across. Get the legs away. Yeah, all good. 1, 2. This goes towards researching labs, their hotline, like the telephone line, people asking for advice, nurses, there's so much good stuff. There's a banner here, I think by 2050, they want to have everyone that gets diagnosed with breast cancer to live, so that would be amazing. Let's get a photo first, I'm crying, let's go.